title: Why Your Phone Never Really Dies, and What's Still Running Why Your Phone Never Really Dies, and What's Still Running. We've all been there. You're staring at your phone. The battery hits 0%. The screen gives one last flicker. And then, black. It's a brick. Useless, right? Well, what if I told you that's not the whole story? What if dead doesn't actually mean dead? Even with a battery that reads 0%, your phone is intentionally keeping a secret stash of power, just enough to keep certain parts of it awake and running. Today, we're going to look at why your phone is never really off, and get into the unsettling stories of what it might still be doing long after the screen goes dark. Section 1. The 0% battery lie. First off, that 0% on your screen? It's basically a white lie. It's a number designed to protect your phone from itself. The lithium-ion battery inside your phone has a critical weakness. If it discharges completely, truly, down to zero power, it can be permanently damaged. A total discharge can mess up the battery's chemistry so badly that it might never hold a proper charge again. To prevent your phone from committing this kind of electronic suicide, its internal power management system is programmed to fib. When it shows you 0% and shuts down, there's actually a small emergency reserve of power left. It's just enough to keep the battery stable and stop it from tipping over the edge into that damaging, deep discharge state. So think of it less like death and more like a medically induced coma. It's a safety measure to make sure the phone can be safely woken up later. And that little bit of leftover power is the key to a hidden world of low-power processes that never really go to sleep. Section 2. The ghost in the machine. What's still running? So, your phone has put itself to bed, holding on to that last bit of emergency power. What is it actually doing? Well, for one, it's still keeping time. Now, on most modern smartphones, a dead battery means no alarm for you. But on some older or simpler phones, the clock had its own separate power, which is why an alarm you set might have still gone off even after the phone seemed to die overnight. On a new smartphone, though, things are way more complex. The main brain of your phone, the big application processor that runs all your apps and the pretty interface, is definitely asleep. But that's not the only processor in there. Modern phones are built on what's called a system on a chip, or SoC, which packs multiple specialized computer cores onto a single piece of silicon. And one of the most important ones is the baseband processor. You can think of the baseband processor as its own little mini computer living inside your phone, running its own software. Its one and only job is to handle the radios, the connection to cell towers, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. This processor is a total black box. Its code is proprietary, and you have no access to it. Because it controls the phone's connection to the outside world, it's at the heart of all the debate about what a phone can do when it looks like it's off. And even below that, there are tiny circuits that have to stay on. Power management chips are always checking the battery's health and temperature, just waiting for you to plug in a charger. These systems are the absolute foundation of the phone. Without them, it couldn't even safely recharge from zero. They're the silent guardians that are, in a way, always awake. It's pretty clear our phones are doing a lot more than they let on. Figuring out how these hidden systems work is the first step to actually being in control of the tech in your life. If you're finding this interesting and want to learn more secrets about the devices we use every day, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our future videos. Section 3. The modern phone's hidden powers. This is where things go from being a simple technical need to something much more advanced, and for some people, a little more concerning. Lately, companies like Apple have started using this off but not really off state to build some powerful new features. The best example is the Find My network. If you have a newer iPhone, you've probably seen the little message when you power it down. iPhone findable after power off. They're not kidding. For up to 24 hours after you turn your phone off, it keeps broadcasting a weak, low-energy Bluetooth signal. Your phone turns itself into a little tracker, like an AirTag, quietly pinging its location to any other Apple device that happens to pass by. Those other devices then securely and anonymously report your phone's location back to you. This whole thing is possible thanks to a component called an always-on processor, or a V. Just like the name says, it's a super efficient coprocessor that sips tiny amounts of power to run specific tasks even when the main system is off. It can control the Bluetooth chip all by itself. Now, this is an amazing feature if you lose your phone or it gets stolen. But it also proves that off doesn't mean disconnected anymore. Your device, even when it's dark and silent, is designed to be actively communicating with the world around it. And while Apple has built this with strong privacy in mind, it shows what a device is capable of in its lowest power state. Section 4. The scary stories and unsettling truths. And that brings us to the darker side of all this. If a phone can be designed to broadcast its location while it's off for a good reason, could it be forced to do it for a bad one? That's the fear that privacy advocates and security experts have been talking about for years. The component everyone worries about is, you guessed it, the baseband processor. Since it acts like a separate computer with special access to the phone's radios, some have called it a potential backdoor. In theory, a hacked baseband chip could be told to stay connected to a cell tower or listen for a secret wake-up command. Even after you've shut down the main OS, to you, the phone would look off, but its radio would still be alive, ready to transmit your location or other data. This isn't just a hypothetical paranoia. Leaked documents from intelligence agencies have hinted at the existence of tools that can track phones even when they're turned off. On top of that, incredibly advanced spyware like Pegasus has shown it's possible to get almost total control of the phone. While most spyware needs the phone to be on, some security researchers believe that infections that get into the firmware, the deep-level software, could survive a reboot. The latest versions of Pegasus are even zero-click, meaning they can infect a phone without the user ever clicking a link or doing anything at all. Now, for the average person, the odds of being targeted by an attack this sophisticated are incredibly low. This is the stuff of targeted espionage, not watching everybody all the time. But the fact that the technology exists proves that the line between on and off is getting really blurry. The urban legends about your phone listening to your conversations while it's powered down are mostly just that, legends. But the underlying ability for a phone to communicate when you think it's dead is very, very real. It just takes a powerful, targeted attack to make it happen. Section 5. How do you really turn it off? So after all that, is there any way to be 100% sure your phone is completely off? Years ago, the answer was easy. Just pull the battery out. That physically cuts all power, and you knew nothing was running. But today, almost every phone has a sealed, non-removable battery, so for most of us, that's not an option. For anyone who is seriously concerned about privacy, the next best thing is a Faraday bag. A Faraday bag is basically a signal-proof pouch that blocks all electromagnetic fields. When you put your phone inside, it can't send or receive any signals, no cell, no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, no GPS. It doesn't actually turn the phone off, but it completely cuts it off from the outside world, making any kind of remote tracking or activation impossible. For most people, there are less extreme steps you can take. Turning on airplane mode cuts off the main radios, but remember, Bluetooth and sometimes GPS can stay on, so you might have to turn those off separately. On an iPhone, you can also go into your settings and disable the Find My Network feature if it makes you uncomfortable, but you'll lose that ability to find your phone when it's offline. Honestly, for most of us, just powering the phone off is good enough. The background processes are tiny, and the risk of some secret agent keeping it active is extremely low. But it's good to know what's going on. Understanding that your phone is never truly dead is important in a world where these devices hold the keys to our entire lives. Conclusion: the phone in your pocket is kind of a paradox. It's a device we think we're in charge of, but it has all these layers of operation that are completely hidden from us. The 0% battery is a little lie it tells to keep itself healthy. The power off screen isn't really the end. It's just a deep sleep where a few critical systems stay awake. Features like Apple's Find My Network have turned that sleep into an active state one that's super convenient, but also changes the very definition of what off even means. And while the spy movie scenarios of someone listening through your power-down phone are mostly for high-level targets, they're based on a real technical truth. Our phones are designed with parts that can, and do, work even when we think they're completely inert. We carry around a device that is always in a state of low-level readiness, just waiting for a command, whether that's you pressing the power button, plugging in a charger, or, in a much darker scenario, a signal sent from far away. So the next time your screen goes dark, just remember, it's not dead. It's just waiting. What do you think about all this? Are these low-power, always-on features a brilliant convenience, or a step too far into a surveillance future? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks for going down this rabbit hole with me into the secret life of your phone. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep digging into the hidden side of technology, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one. Title: The Secret Camera That Records When Your Phone Is Off. The scene opens on four friends Maya, Liam, Chloe, and Ben piled into a car, laughing as they drive down a sun-dappled country road, butchering the lyrics to a song on the radio. They're filming each other on their phones, shaky clips capturing their arrival at a sleek, modern cabin tucked away in the woods. It's perfect. Later that evening, the mood has settled. Liam is on the couch, frowning at his phone. Liam, what the... My phone's about to die. It was at 80% like an hour ago. Chloe, you've been doom scrolling for 2 hours. They have a name for that. It's called consequences. Liam, no, for real. Look, the battery just took a nosedive, and there's this weird app. I've never seen it before. Maya leans over his shoulder, curiosity piqued. Ben and Chloe glance up. On his screen, in the app list, is a blank, iconless app simply named Aperture. M-A-Y Aperture. M-A-Y Aperture is a blank, iconless app simply named Aperture. M-A-Y Aperture. Weird. What does it do? All nothing, I tap it, and zip. I try to delete it, and the uninstall button is grayed out. I literally can't touch it. He shows them. The button is flat, dead, completely unresponsive. It's just a standard tech glitch, but a flicker of annoyance crosses his face. Section 1. The inciting incident Maya here. Let me see. Maya, the group's default tech support, takes the phone, her fingers flying across the screen with practiced ease. She digs through the settings app manager, storage, even developer options. Maya, okay, that's not right. It's not listed anywhere in the system. It's like it doesn't exist. Ben, so it's a virus, right? Some kind of malware? Maya, I don't know. It isn't acting like any malware I've ever seen. Chloe snorts, pulling out her own phone. Chloe, it's probably just some stupid bloatware from the last system update. See? I don't have any... She freezes. Her face goes pale. Slowly, she turns her phone around for the others to see. There, at the very top of her app list, is the same blank entry. Aperture. A sudden, frantic energy fills the room. Ben and Maya grab their phones. A wave of disbelief and cold dread washes over them. Every single one of them has it. B-E-N. How is that even possible? We haven't downloaded the same things. We aren't even on the same Wi-Fi. Maya, it's not. An app can't just materialize on 4 different phones from thin air. Liam force restarts his phone. It powers down and then chimes back to life. The app is still there. His battery is now at 3%. Emma, why, okay. This is officially creepy. And my battery is draining fast now too. So is mine. Ben adds, holding up his screen. Chloe, you know what? I'm done. Screw this. I'm turning my phone off. We're supposed to be on a digital detox anyway, right? Let's just shut them down. We can deal with it in the morning. With nervous agreement, they hold down their power buttons one by one. 4 screens go black. They stack the phones on the coffee table, a small, dark monument to their shared anxiety. They try to laugh it off and break out a board game, but the mood is broken. The silence from the devices on the table feels heavy, watching them. Section 2. Rising Action. The next morning, the sunlight makes the previous night's paranoia feel a little silly. Liam is the first to reach for his phone. Liam all right. Moment of truth. Let's see if the ghost in the machine packed its bags. He plugs it in and powers it on. It boots up. He navigates to his app list. Aperture is still there. He groans, but then he sees something else. A new video in his gallery. Liam, what the hell is this? The others crowd around. He taps play. The footage is grainy, black and white, shot in a stark night vision. The camera angle is low, as if it was propped up on his nightstand. After a moment, the image sharpens. It's a video of Liam, asleep in his bed, tossing and turning. The video is 15 minutes long. The timestamp in the corner reads 3:17 a. Ben, dude, your phone was off. We all watched you turn it off. Chloe, that's not possible. Panic flares. Maya, Chloe, and Ben grab their own phones and power them on. They each have a new video file. Maya's phone recorded her sleeping peacefully, the camera angled perfectly from her side of the bed. Chloe and Ben, who crashed on the couch, find a video on Chloe's phone, shot from the coffee table, capturing both of them. Maya, no, that is physically impossible. A phone cannot record when it's off. The hardware is dead. The processor, the camera sensor, the storage, nothing has power. It's like saying a lamp can light up when it's unplugged from the wall. It violates the laws of physics. Ben, well, the laws of physics are clearly on vacation. Just look. He scrubs through the video on his phone. It's a long, static shot of him sleeping. But then, about an hour in, something happens. A faint, distorted sound emerges from the phone's speaker. A whisper. The words are garbled, but it's a deep, guttural sound that definitely didn't come from Ben. They check the other videos. It's there in all of them. A faint, menacing whisper, seeming to come from just out of frame. Chloe, I'm done. I am so done with this. She grabs her phone, runs to the back door, and yanks it open. Maya, Chloe, wait. What are you doing? But Chloe hurls her phone with all her might into the dense woods. It vanishes into the trees with a satisfying thud. She's right. Let's get rid of them. A new kind of energy takes over, not just fear, but a desperate need to fight back. Section 3. The climax. They collect the other 3 phones. Ben finds a heavy, decorative rock by the fireplace. Outside on the stone patio, one by one, they lay a phone down and bring the rock crashing down. The air fills with the sickening sound of crunching plastic and shattering glass. They don't stop until the phones are just twisted piles of metal and circuitry. Just to be sure, they scrape the electronic guts into a bag, hike a quarter mile to a murky little lake they'd passed on the drive-in, and throw the bag into the water. They watch it sink, the ripples spreading across the surface before vanishing. The walk back to the car is quiet, but it's a silence of relief. The air feels lighter. They climb inside, ready to just go home and forget this entire nightmare ever happened. Ben, Let's just get out of here. He turns the key. The engine roars to life, a blessedly normal sound. Maya finds an old MP3 player in the glove box. Maya, I need loud music, now. She plugs one end of an O cord into the relic and the other into the car's audio jack. The large dashboard infotainment screen flickers on. But instead of a music interface, the screen is a mess of glitched out colors. Chloe-o, you have got to be kidding me. The screen clears, resolving into a live video feed. The image is a murky, distorted green, with bubbles drifting lazily past the lens. It's an underwater view. It's the view from the bottom of the lake, looking up at the shimmering surface. They sit frozen in horror. As they watch, the camera's perspective shifts, panning slowly through the dark water until it's pointing back toward the shore. The image is warped, but it's moving. It rises from the lake, the feed blurring with water droplets. The view clears. It's the shoreline. And in the distance, parked on the road, is their car. The camera's zoom engages jerky, unnatural, and inhuman. It pushes in and in and in, until the only thing on the car's dashboard screen is their own four faces, mouths agape, frozen in sheer terror, being watched by the very cameras they just destroyed. Conclusion: the live feed holds on their horrified faces for one long, silent moment. Then, the screen cuts to black, a split second of nothing, a wave of hope that it's over. But then, new text appears. Simple, white, perfectly centered. It's not a video. It's a system prompt on the car's own operating system. A familiar icon appears, the same blank, empty square from their phones. Beneath it, a single line of text types itself out. Aperture installed successfully. The message hangs there. The engine hums. They are miles from anywhere. And the thing from their phones is now in the car with them. If you want to see more stories that dig into the dark side of technology, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let us know in the comments what piece of tech you think is the scariest. And check out our other shorts for more things to keep you up at night.